If you haven't seen it yet, there is a video of a high school in the Western Cape, and it has been doing the rounds at the moment, and it is a few what I can only describe in terms of all of the descriptions of the videos that you've also sent me on WhatsApp, and thank you for that, is that there are boys that are being bullied quite badly. The video is there. The boys who are doing the bullying are apparently first team rugby players that have bright futures within the rugby space. And as you know, with regard to futures like that aside, just to have that type of visual, it's very disturbing. And Karen Ann's been touching on it all the way through on EWN. So I just needed to have a conversation. The thing is, obviously, with my child goes to a school as well. I mean, I can't just, in my head, I play this in my head. If that was my kid and that was happening, that video is doing the circulation as well on social media, I honestly would not even know how to respond in the beginning. I would be shocked, and then I would be like, what is the school going to do? What is going to be done? Now it's about, you worry enough about safety on your streets, but now like in the school as well, it's terrible. And of course, a video of this kind, it's not the first, because I have personally been involved in several departmental campaigns to make sure that bullying is not happening at our schools. I remember I was part of two of them, in fact. One of them was Raise Your Voice and Not Your Phone, inspired to intervene rather than to share these things, because there's a culture of that around. But for you, dear parent, I know you've seen this, and you're thinking to yourself, what is being done? What happens to these perpetrators? What happens to safeguard the victims? What happens next? And I came across a very, very interesting article that we all band together and discovered. And an article was written by a gentleman by the name of Bertus, who actually was available for a call. Bertus, thank you so much for joining us on the Flash Drive.
Thanks so much, Carl.
You saw the video, Bertus?
Very briefly.
Okay.
I saw it very briefly, yes, but yeah.
So you're a family law attorney. So
that's good.
I needed to chat to you because I think the main shock of watching a video like that, and I'm sure you can understand, is that immediately as a parent you're thinking, if this had to happen to my kid at a school, what is the recourse? What happens to the perpetrators so that my kid feels safe in their school situation, in their educational situation? So just in terms of your experiences, I know that you wrote a very, very extensive article when it comes to child bullying and the recourse around that. What happens next in this particular scenario, given your experience?
Well, obviously the school has got a code of conduct, and the school governing body will have to deal with the perpetrators immediately. And that can obviously lead to them being, dispelled from school. From what I've seen in the video, it is pretty serious.
It is.
And the school, the school actually walks into the shoes of the parent. So if the school neglects to prosecute in terms of their policies, the school or the Department of Education is in the firing line, and they can be sued. So it starts with the school, if that answers your question. On that specific point. But then obviously, physical bullying can be charged as assault. It's a common law crime. And the Child Justice Act 75 of 2008 governs these proceedings for children under 18. And under 10, usually be counseling or therapy and family support and so on. Between 10 and 14, it goes into rehab programs or even prosecution, and arrest there is a last resort. And then 14 to 18, their children are presumed to be capable, and it's more about restorative justice.
Yeah.
Another aspect quickly that I can mention is if bullying is taking place, nothing stops a parent from bringing an application in terms of the Harassment Act, for example, to stop the bullying at school.
And this can happen as a direct case, as opposed to I mean, without even consulting the school, let's just say let's just say the school is not following all the protocols, etc., or the parents not happy with the result of said protocols being put in place, can they go straight directly and do something like an interdict and actually get this sorted out personally?
They can, because the school deals with it on another level, but it doesn't take the crime away. So the parent can still go and lay charges at the South African Police Services for assault, for example, and take it further. Especially because children, the best interest of the child is always at stake. And in terms of the Constitution, there are certain rights that the child has, like dignity and so on, and all those factors play a role.
I think the big thing with regard to that is that it's definitely that recourse. It's that motion to think that how do perpetrators get appropriately, I'm going to say, just fended off from behavior of this sort. Because yes, this video has been sent around, but as you know, it's not a unique video. There are several of these cases happening on a daily basis. And the severity of the law coming into play here, perhaps there's got to be a lot more in the awareness that you just shared now about prosecution that perhaps would be a good deterrent for that behavior to start off with. That's on a legal level. Furthermore, of course, schools will do what they can, and of course every school is different. But I think just in the next steps over here, if you were a parent in that situation, if you were one of those victims' parents and you were looking for answers and you weren't finding them, what would you do, Bertus, as a family law attorney?
Well, I would probably lay a charge, and let the school deal with the matter further. And then, obviously the victim is in these situations, they will have to get therapy again.
Yes.
It's just, it's awful how the world is changing.
No, it's definitely awful, and I think just even the sharing of a video like that, yes, it brings light and awareness as well. But just it's like you want to believe that a person would intervene before they start recording, would stop and say, morally, this is wrong. What are you doing? Stop this now. That's what you dream of in the society that we live in. But Bertus, thank you very much for the insight. And I think that's
Thanks, Paul.
And I think that if any parent is worried, if any parent has struggled in this space, and remember, we also live in a different socioeconomic type of environment. Do you, of course, within your experience, know places that parents can go to try and get these proceedings going without, of course, the extent and the resource extent of actually going through the law route? Are there places that they can go for this type of recourse?
Well, obviously, laying a criminal charge is for free at the police station.
Okay.
And a parent can bring an harassment application also without the assistance of any legal practitioner, for example.
Yeah.
Hopefully the school does the right job, and hopefully, a video like that will deter other children at other schools to do similar things.
Just on that, tell me, the person recording this video, do you think that they are complicit in their recording by law?
It's a very interesting point, because you work with minors here.
Yes.
I would think from a legal point of view, I won't say they're complicit to it.
Okay.
But not doing anything to prevent a crime from happening, you actually can become complicit. In such a situation.
Yes, I think I needed to ask that question because I needed you to say that, and I think you know where I'm going with that in terms of angle and direction. Is that I just wanted to make sure that is quite clear. The next time someone lifts a phone before raising their voice and having a stand on a moral level. But thank you very much for the information, Bertus. And I called you at very short notice, so thank you for your time and for your clarity. And I did see your article, and it was really comprehensive. And I thought in this particular case, before contacting anybody for comment, like a school or department, I think, number one, I just needed to get some information as a parent to see what my rights are in protecting my child within a school situation. Because all I wanted to send them there for is education. They don't deserve abuse or harassment of that particular sort. But thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Bertus Preller, that is a family law attorney, wrote a phenomenal article on child bullying, and I just needed to get some questions answered. It was sitting on my heart, and I just couldn't go into a happy competition and not feel connected. And I see you on the WhatsApp line as well, and you sent that video to me a number of times, and I appreciate that, bringing that to my attention. And of course, I'll follow it a lot closely as it goes on. As you know, Karen Ann on EWN is also following very, very closely too, and she's very much on top of that with regard to any updates as to what happens next with regard to that incident. If you haven't seen the video, a bullying video is doing the rounds at a local high school. It is severe bullying. It's terrible to watch. Very, very shocking, triggering, in fact. And I just needed to make sure that we address that and put that particular thing on the table and ensure that that never ever happens again. It does happen often, but we got to talk about it when it does, because this is the biggest deterrent we have, is information for you as a dear parent, and of course a word of warning to anybody who believes they have any sort of control over somebody else's body. If you believe you can assault and put your hands in somebody else's body, you have another thing coming. No matter how young you are, and no matter how incredible you are within your sporting discipline, there is a might of the law, and it's going to get you. And to, of course, thoughts and strength to the victims as well.
The Flash Drive with Carl Wastie. KFN 94.5.